What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Pay-Per-Viewpoint edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. I am your host, as always, Tony Mango, and joining me on the mic for this episode is Kalen Ferris.
Hello, everybody. I'm ready for the ultimate thrill ride.
The ultimate thrill ride. Are you pumped?
I'm so pumped.
Oh, man, you're going to be going on that roller coaster the whole entire weekend. Up and down, left and right.
It's a very long roller coaster. It's a very long weekend.
Yeah. We also have Angie Williams.
Hello, everybody.
Drew White.
Let's do this.
What the hell was that? Let's do this. And rounding out the panel is Sean Walker.
Oh, another podcast, another day.
Now you know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, it's WrestleMania week. Do you feel it?
Nope. Oh, yes.
Yes, actually, now I finally do after the Go Home Raw. I'm definitely feeling it.
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot more now. A lot more people talking about it, but I'm already very, very tired of hearing about the thrill ride.
The ultimate
I
thrill
might not
ride.
have.
Yeah, I liked how they had to work that into everybody's
Yes,
promos.
oh
It's
my
like,
God.
you have to do this or else you're not getting paid tonight.
Did everybody
Tony.
check out how facetious Daniel Bryan was about it on Smack, Talking Smack? He's just kind of like, the
No, I
ultimate
missed
thrill
that.
ride. Ah! I'm surprised nobody's done like some kind of pantomime of the roller coaster yet. Like run up and down the ramp, just being like, whoa! Made a random sharp left turn and started slapping the hands of the fans and stuff. Rey Mysterio would have done it. He was fun with that kind of shit. It was like one of the only good things about him that I liked. And he would have headbutted a couple kids on their way down too. Yeah, I'm a lot more excited about it right now after going to Raw than I was beforehand because, I mean, anytime that you're packed with a bunch of different fans, it's going to be a little bit more exciting. The same thing with movies and stuff. Like, when people are like, I'd rather watch a comedy by myself at 4 a.m. in the dark, it's like, well, that's a little depressing. I'd like to be around a lot of people that are real jovial. And same thing with wrestling fans. You get around a lot of them, even though we're all going to bitch and complain, it's still going to have that kind of energy where you're going to be like, yeah, but at the same time, fuck Charlotte, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to
Yeah.
you since you went to Raw on Monday. How was the crowd there in person?
It's a Philly crowd, so it's a bunch of ruckus people that are all like, yeah, you know, if I saw Roman Reigns, I'd kick his ass, like that kind of stuff. You know, we had the typical things where people are trying to sell tickets ahead of time and talking to us where we're all in a group, we're all carrying our sheets of paper, and the guys are like, hey, y'all need any tickets? And I'm like, dude, we have our tickets in our fucking hands right now. Are you serious? You know, a lot of pretzel shillers and stuff like that, but the crowd itself was pretty fun. We had a lot of people around me that were kind of like blah, so that was a little bit annoying. Like the two dudes sitting to my right seemed like they didn't give a shit whatsoever about anything.
Oh, that's sad.
I really wanted to kind of like pump them up, but I didn't really want to talk to them because they looked like they were dorks. And a couple people in front of me were cool though. You know, every once in a while they'd turn around, we talk a little bit. People behind me get some jokes going throughout the night, but you know, it's a Raw crowd. Like, we're gonna get to a point where there's a whole bunch of commercials and everybody's energy goes down. Then you get the Undertaker to come out and everybody's going nuts.
Mhm.
It's the same kind of thing. If nobody's checked out the Hot Tags edition, everybody should check out at least the beginning of it, where I've got the footage of Chuck flipping out to the Undertaker because it's pretty funny. I made sure to tilt my phone just to my left. I'm watching the Undertaker myself, and I'm just holding up my camera and filming Chuck most of the time. He's like a kid ready for like Christmas or something. But I'm a lot more excited now. I still have my issues with the card. We're going to be breaking that down here. You know, obviously all our WrestleMania predictions of what we think is going to be happening is what we're going to be talking about for this edition. If you didn't read the title, and if you didn't, then hey, you're probably somebody who bitches and complains about the fanboys content. So I'm going to start things off with the kickoff because that makes sense, right? We got 3 matches for the pre-show that have been announced ahead of time. It doesn't seem like they are trending towards the idea of them bumping any matches on the card. Now that we already have, like, the SmackDown tag title is not happening. So we know that that's out of the way. But there are 3 matches that are, at least right now, scheduled to be on the pre-show. They might add another one in there. They might cut the time on these things. I don't know. First things first, the Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville against Austin Aries. Austin Aries was talking about this on Twitter, I think it was. Maybe it was Instagram, I don't know. Where he was saying, I don't feel like I've been relegated to the pre-show. I feel like I've been tasked with elevating the pre-show, which is a good glass half full kind of mentality. And I got to kind of agree with him a little bit here, because the Cruiserweight title match could be one of the best matches of the night, actually.
That's what I was thinking too. That's why I was so surprised when they announced it was going to be on the pre-show, because I was expecting this to be one of the most entertaining matches on the entire card for the night. So I thought that was kind of weird, but it is the WrestleMania pre-show. It's not the pre-show for some B-level pay-per-view. This is the pre-show for the best event of the year. So I guess it's not as bad, but still seems like a little bit of an emotion.
The Cruiserweight
from being on the main card.
Sorry, the Cruiserweight match last pay-per-view.
Oh, fantastic.
Saved it in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see them moving this to up the pre-show.
Well, this is something I was talking about with Raw, and I've been talking about it on a couple different things here and there. It seems like people are very into the Cruiserweight matches when they're happening, and then nobody ever wants to watch 205 Live, and nobody ever wants to watch the Cruiserweight matches on Raw. It's like, oh, I'll take a break, I'll go to the bathroom now, and it's like, even at the last pay-per-view, we're all hanging out in the basement, and people are like, who's this fucking jabroni? And it was somebody with the Cruiserweights, I don't remember who. And by the end of the match, everybody's like, oh, damn, that was a good match. I'm like, yeah, it's surprising, right? When you have a good tournament of good, talented people and they go out there and put on good matches, that they happen to have entertaining matches. Like, I don't understand it. But I knew that this was going to be a pre-show match. I mean, this was something I called well in advance. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to get a Cruiserweight match, and it's going to be on the pre-show. But it's not too bad.
We have 2 championship matches on the pre-show.
One of them's a surprise. We're going to get to that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But, Drew, what are your thoughts on this whole Cruiserweight title situation? Should it have been on the pre-show? Is this kind of a knock on them?
No, I mean, personally, I would have rather it be on the main card, but it's WrestleMania. They have a lot of stuff they have to do, so I know some people have to take a back seat. So, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world. This is still going to get plenty of time since they're going to have 2 hours to fill on the pre-show, and I know they're going to film or show their promos and all that stuff, which is cool. But please give this match some time because I really want to see this. Want it.
So, Sean, these are the only Brits on the card. As a Brit, give me your opinion. Neville, Aries, should they be on the pre-show, or is this kind of a slight?
In my opinion, the last couple of Raw pay-per-views, 205 matches have been like the best match on the card. And that is why I would rather see this on the main card other than Pitbull. But, shit happens. As to who I think is going to win, I honestly think the king of the cruiserweights is going to get dethroned, and Austin Aries is going to be walking out with the belt.
Well, you know what? Before we go around here and give our predictions about that, I do want to bring up something just because I'll probably forget about it if we don't get to it, and that's the musical performances you just brought up. We know we're getting American Beautiful, which is by, and I can't remember for how they pronounced her name. It was Tanasha?
I have no idea.
I'm not even going to go there.
Good old Tina. She is doing America the Beautiful, which I don't know if she's a good singer or not, but I'm fine with America the Beautiful being on there. And I like the Green Light song from Pitbull. So I
like it now.
Yeah, I've heard it enough times.
Since it's been grilled into my head.
It's the same as every single WrestleMania. They do at least one song enough times that I'm like, I'm going to download this. I know it. And then by the time they get to 30 weeks away, they don't do it that far, 30 days away, then I'm usually like, all right, I caved,
Yeah, that's how it was with the Flo Rida. I think it was Flo Rida, the My House.
Yep.
I was like, the first couple of times I heard, I'm like, this is stupid. And then like the week of WrestleMania, I'm like, oh yeah, singing along and shit.
So I like the song, but I don't like when they do musical performances at WrestleMania.
Unless it's for somebody's intro. If that's, I don't like them just
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's
Randy Orton's or Bray Wyatt's. Those were good.
Yeah.
Triple H has had a good one.
CM
Punk. Yeah. So there have been some good ones. There's good ways to incorporate it. But don't do like a Kid Rock thing. Don't just have
that's probably the worst. Well, I don't know. The Machine Gun Kelly was kind of annoying. Even though I like that song. Kid Rock, that might have been That might have been up there. Because I don't really look at WrestleMania as like a lot. Some people go with like, well, it's supposed to have celebrities and you're supposed to have like Liberace and whatever because that's the first one. In my mind, WrestleMania isn't a celebrity fest, and it isn't a way to just sort of like round out the year with a bunch of pop culture things.
Mm-hmm.
To me, give me something other than Snooki on the card. Give me, don't do the Flo Rida backstage pushing Heath Slater thing. Give me Mean Gene Okerlund backstage. You know what I mean? Like, I want to celebrate wrestling. I don't want to celebrate 2017. It's not like New Year's Rockin' Eve or some bullshit, But I do like the song, and if it's going to happen, at least it's a song that I like, at the very least, from my point of view. It's a shame, though, that you can't kind of just take that away from the card and add a couple more minutes to some of the other things here and there. Because we know we're going to get video packages, we know we're going to get backstage segments, and all that's going to cut into some of the time. But then you look at the card, and you go, well, Goldberg Lesnar is going to be quick. Reigns Undertaker is not going to last forever. Starting to get to like the point where I'm going, maybe that match is going to be quick. Maybe that match is going to be quick. Maybe we're in for a WrestleMania where it's going to be a lot of like downtime and a lot of filler, actually. Even though
That's
have
what I'm
13
afraid of.
matches on the card. You're afraid of that too?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Because there are some of these matches I can't see possibly lasting very long.
Yeah, because, like you said, the Undertaker Roman Reigns, that's not even going to go 10 minutes, probably.
I'm thinking 10 max.
You know what is going to last 10 minutes? All the New Day promos that we're going to get.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm okay with the New Day hosting. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, I am too. But still, sometimes the little segments last a little too long.
If they're going to choose any group of wrestlers to host it, I think that's probably the right choice.
So on a side note, do you think the crowd will heckle Xavier at all for his Page debacle?
I would be disappointed if they didn't.
Yeah.
I really hope so, though.
I've been keeping my eye out for signs, but they must have been good at nabbing them before they got on air.
I love all of the attention that Brad Maddox has been getting from this kind of stuff. Like,
I love Brad Maddox.
Mm-hmm.
I want the crowd, when they come out on Sunday, to start chanting, "We want Maddox" or something. Just to see Xavier Woods' face. He's going to laugh about it. He's not going to take it as like a personal shot because he's taking shots at himself about this whole thing. Just, like, yeah, it's me.
I did the thing. Yeah. That's it.
I'd hate to see the other angle, though. Ugh.
Well, see, why are you calling Paige a thing? That's kind of rude, don't you think?
Fine, a brat. There you go. Well, let's go around with that Cruiserweight match. Who was it? Sean, you said you think Neville is going to be losing the title, right?
Yeah, sadly. I like Neville as the champ as well.
I have to agree with you. I think we're getting a new Cruiserweight champion. Even though I like Neville as champ, it would be good to start off the night with a new champion. And I think that this is going to be the first match because the other two, they might be first. I don't know. But I got a feeling that if out of these three kickoff things, that's the one that they're going to want to have start things off. And if you start things off with a title match and a title change happens, good way to kind of kick off WrestleMania. Angie, what do you think? Are we getting a new champion or is it going to be Neville retaining?
I want there to be a new champion, but I'm sort of split between this. But I think Neville might keep it because they aren't sure what to do with him afterwards, except to keep this feud going.
And he's the king of the cruiserweights.
Yeah, he'd lose that line.
He could still be the king, even if he's not the champ.
Yeah.
Maybe
trying to get his crown back.
He gets a little tiara,
Oh God, I didn't need to picture that in my mind.
Is it the ears? That's what throwing it off? Speaking of the whole Raw thing, a guy behind me, he was just like, "Yeah, I like Neville as this heel thing. I didn't know he had it in him." And I turned around, I'm like, "Dude, if everybody told you were ugly for 2 fucking years, you think you'd get a little bit upset after a while?" Yeah, like
develop a mean streak after a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Every message board and everything was just sort of like, "Yeah, Neville's pretty good, but he's an ugly fuck." It's like, eventually that starts getting under your skin,
Yeah, he has worked on his accent a lot. He talks American English a lot better.
Good old Benji.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylin, Neville or Aries, who you got?
I was convinced that Neville was retaining here, but you make a good point that it's probably going to be the first match on the pre-show. And what a better way to get the crowd sucked in and buying the network than to have a new champion. Again, I'm still split on this, but I think they're going to draw this out a little bit longer. I think Austin Aries is going to come up just a little too short this time. And no slight on his height. He's just not on the Neville level, is basically what I'm saying.
No height slight.
So I am going to say that Neville retains, but Austin Aries gets it within the next 2 months.
Yeah, I agree. They want to draw it out a little.
Yeah,
bit
I think they're going to
longer.
draw this feud out a little bit longer. I think Neville retains at WrestleMania on Sunday. Austin Aries gets it maybe next time the title's on the line.
Drew, you're the tiebreaker. 2 for Neville, 2 for Aries.
I'm gonna go with Austin Aries.
Ha ha. Fucking Booker T in the middle of that. I don't know why I did that. Oh, shucky ducky. Oh, another thing too. That pre-show panel. Very happy to see Shawn Michaels is going to be on that. HBK, Lawler, Booker T, and Renee Young. That's a good group. Instead of having
Yeah.
Lita. Lita's no good on that.
I'm not a fan of Lita on the pre-show panels and stuff. Or if they would have brought in Ric Flair, I wouldn't have liked it as much because I'm a little bit tired of Flair here and there. The rest of WrestleMania makes sense. So 3 for Aries, 2 for Neville. We'll see what happens when it comes to that. But 2 other pre-show kickoff matches that are going to be happening. The other title match is going to be the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss versus potentially everybody. They've been keeping this very vague. And we know at the very least right now there is going to be at least a 6-pack challenge, which I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but they got the same pre-show panel that I put in the fantasy booking, and they got the 6-pack challenge thing that I put in the fantasy booking. Just going to dust off my shoulders a little bit there. But we know Mickie James, Naomi, who that was a little bit of a surprise this week, Natalya, Carmella, and of course, who are the other 2 people that I'm thinking of? Becky Lynch and I'm missing somebody, aren't I? Other than Becky Lynch?
Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Mickie James, and Carmella and Naomi.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'm not. I'm like, wait a minute, there's 6 of them. I can count. I never used to like Sesame Street as a kid. What can I say? We think that there's a potential, of course, for there to be another person, at least one other person to be in the mix because they are being super vague about that whole all women available to the SmackDown roster can compete. Mm-hmm. There's everything from Peyton Royce and Billie Kay and Asuka to Tamina Snuka to even Maryse. Kelly's been thrown into the mix. People are talking about Emma because she still hasn't popped back up even though she's been advertised for Raw. Maybe a new person making a debut that's not even on the NXT roster. Maybe another person returning like a Kelly or a Mickie James situation. I think people are going to be disappointed, and I think it's just going to be Tamina. But there's a potential chance that it's Asuka. Those are the 2 I'm leaning towards the most. And Saturday night's going to be...
I hope they don't do that to Asuka.
You think it's a downgrade to Asuka?
It's going to be a mess, and for her to suddenly just appear there, that's her.
Because they're not going to give him much time. I think that's what I'm worried about having Asuka show up is because this match isn't going to get the amount of time that it should for the amount of performers in the ring. So each person is going to have, like 1 or 2 spots that highlight them. So I think putting Asuka in at this point and having her win possibly, I think would be a slight to her.
My issue more is along the lines of the fact that I don't want her debuting on a pre-show. I'd rather her debut on like SmackDown.
I want to see her on Monday, on Monday or Tuesday.
You brought up a point I was going to ask around here. It was just when this wasn't on the pre-show, I was leaning towards Asuka. As soon as they bumped it up to that, I'm like, you know what? Either they think that that's good enough for Asuka, which, I mean, it is WrestleMania pre-show. We were just talking about the Cruiserweight match being like, well, if you're going to be on any pre-show, this is the one to be on. At the same time, though, I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe Asuka was never the plan, and everybody's just jumping to these conclusions, and all it is somebody like Tamina, which, if that's the case, pre-show is good enough for her. She's making a return, and she's never been the most popular person in the world.
And there's a rumor going around that Eva Marie isn't ever coming back, that she started deleting WWE from all of her internet accounts, things like that, trying to separate her from, just all of these.
Well, I heard they're not renewing her contract when it expires.
No, she's
gone.
She already dropped it.
Oh, shit.
She already dropped it.
I did not know that.
A couple weeks ago, or maybe even like a month or so ago, somebody pointed out that they noticed on her Twitter that she no longer had WWE Superstar on there. And that was getting everybody to start to go like, uh-oh, that's never a good sign,
Yeah,
So,
but now she's done it on a lot of things.
Yeah, she's not coming back. And for the people that think that it's going to be Maria, from the whole idea that maybe her and Mike Bennett might show up, I don't think that that's going to happen either.
No.
I think that if they do come back into WWE at some point, it's not going to be for a little bit. We're not going to get Rebby Hardy. We're not going to get any of those kind of things. I'm thinking it's going to be Tamina, which is starting to make me go, well, are they just going to have Tamina win the title? Because I also don't want to have too many title changes on here.
Right.
And I'm leaning more towards Alexa Bliss retaining, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did.
I wouldn't be surprised if she retained, but I'd like to see Naomi take it back.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because Naomi had won and then was immediately injured and had to drop the title. I'm thinking they might just pick up on that storyline back where they had planned it and they had to leave off. So right now I'm leaning towards Naomi. I wouldn't be surprised if Mickie James got it, but I think Mickie James will get it within the next few months. But I think my prediction is that Naomi's going to pick it up this Sunday.
Not a bad prediction. That's another good way to go. I know, at the very least, I'm thinking the person who has the very, very smallest chance to win this is Carmella. Like, she's just not winning.
No.
She does have Ellsworth in her corner.
That's probably more of a negative than anything.
I honestly believe that any one of these could win. Like, I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if anyone won this match. So I'm not going to count Carmella out on this one. I think she's got a shot, guys.
Sean, are you leaning one way or the other? Does anybody look like a standout favorite?
For me, I was leaning towards the whole Oscar thing until this was bumped to the fucking pre-show. And for me, this is the wrong women's match to be on the pre-show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with Alexa to retain. If it's not Alexa, then I would like to see Becky Lynch take it because, she's my gal until Peyton Royce makes it up to the main roster.
Hopefully soon. I like Peyton Royce.
Mm-hmm.
And our last pre-show kickoff match is going to be the 4th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's been on the pre-show before, and some people are like, what? That's a fucking travesty. And it's like, no, they've done it before. They don't give a shit about this match. This is a match to throw people on the card, and that's it.
Yep, everybody gets a WrestleMania payday.
Mm-hmm. It's the 4th time that they're doing this, and it's a situation where they've been on the pre-show once. They've been like a buffer match the previous 2 times. So I'm assuming this is always going to be a pre-show type of thing from now on. And our participants are all over the place here, but they're essentially just the jobbers. I mean, we got a couple people that are better than jobbers in the mix, like, give them credit where it's due. Dolph Ziggler, Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley's even gotten a little bit of a boost recently. Mark Henry, he's a jobber to the stars, but he's still a better person along the mix. Best person out of this bunch, though, I mean, it's got to be Braun Strowman's match to win.
Yes. Is anyone here not thinking Strowman's going to win?
I'm thinking he's not going to win.
I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50. It's either between Strowman or Sami Zayn.
That's exactly what I think. I think it's going to be Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn is going to have his WrestleMania moment. He's going to overcome the odds. He's in the ring with Braun Strowman and the Big Show, and somehow Sami Zayn is able to overcome that obstacle and get them both out of the ring. I think that'd be a great moment. So Sami Zayn is who I'm leaning toward.
You just changed my mind. I'm going to go with Sami Zayn.
I would love to see Sami do that, but what the hell would they do with Strowman after he lost this?
You want to
know what?
It's not a single.
No.
It's not a single. He's not being pinned.
No, they've been pushing him so hard to have that trophy in his corner.
You know what they could do? Well, one, he'd probably just destroy the trophy because I don't see him walking around with that trophy. And two, honestly, he could easily be the next Universal Champion after WrestleMania at some point.
Saving him to take on Lesnar.
Oh, I mean, he's going to beat everyone at once to win that title.
It depends on how Strowman gets eliminated. If it's like everybody is out to get him to eliminate him, then there's no foul play.
There's one weird way that I could see this turning around now that you're bringing up the Sami Zayn thing. Big Show's in the match, and we know that Big Show was supposed to get that Shaquille O'Neal match. So, at the very least, WWE, maybe they were the ones that were responsible for this not happening. Maybe it was Shaquille O'Neal himself. They're going to want to feel at least a little bit bad about it. So, he's going to get some sort of notoriety, whether he is like the second to last person, maybe he's the first ever 2-time winner, whatever the case may be. But he's said before that he wants to have a feud with Braun Strowman because he sees him as kind of like his successor a little bit. There's a possibility here, and this ties into a prediction that I'm going to have a little bit later on, but I'll backtrack later on too. If Braun Strowman is not supposed to win the Battle Royal, Big Show might be the one who eliminates him. And then maybe Strowman kind of gets back into the ring and eliminates Big Show and whatever. And then somebody like a Sami Zayn wins. Maybe Chris Jericho retains the United States title and drops it to Braun Strowman either the next night or a week after on Raw or something like that. And they kind of move away from the Jericho Owens thing. And we get Big Show versus Braun Strowman for the United States title at Payback. I'm going to kind of let that linger a little bit, and I'm going to touch back on that a little bit later. But I could see that being a feud, and it doesn't have to be for the United States title, so that's why.
I was going to say, I don't think a title needs to be on for that feud. I think it would still be good regardless.
The only reason why I would say that it would be a good idea to put that title on him maybe is to offset that he lost the match. So the easier route is to just have him win a match. You know what I mean? It's like, then you don't have to backtrack and do a whole bunch of other crazy booking and stuff. But I'm still thinking this is Braun's because Braun is the fucking man. He got more of a babyface reaction than most people did at Raw.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the favorites. I'd say it's down. If we had to say there's like only 4 or 5 guys out of the however 20 or whatever that are listed for this,
Probably
I think
30.
Holy shit. Big Show, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler,
Tyler Breeze.
No. So those are really the only 4 that I could really see winning. I mean, yeah, Mojo Rawley and Apollo Crews haven't been as down as they have lately, but I say it's either Show, Strowman, Zayn, or Ziggler, and I'm going to go with Zayn.
Yes. I was about to say gun to your head then. You have to pick one.
Sami Zayn for the win.
James Ellsworth.
If he's not showing up just for the pre-show to introduce Carmella, this is the only other spot for him.
Oh, so man.
He better be in it.
That'd be great.
No, I don't think he'll be in it. So I think he's just going to be a valet for Carmella.
Probably. I don't know. If he's in anything, he's in the Battle Royal, and he's going to get eliminated real quick, too. That's another good thing. But this is a good time to talk about the people that aren't on the card. And officially, James Ellsworth isn't on the card. Although, he could be the valet, he could be in the Battle Royal. Anybody who's not on the card right now could be on the Battle Royal. Mm-hmm. Darren Young is injured, Eric Rowan's injured, Zack Ryder's injured, Finn Balor's injured. Finn Balor is cleared to compete. We'll get to him a little bit later on with a different
position. He's been doing live events.
Yeah.
Darren Young, Zack Ryder, and Eric Rowan, though, as far as I know, they're not cleared. I think Eric Rowan might be. But Eric Rowan, if he pops up in the Battle Royal, nobody's going to be like, wow, look at that, this future legend is in there. It's not.
No, I will. Don't tell me it won't happen.
I'm going to tell you that you're not going to do that.
Hey, he had a WrestleMania match against The Rock. Don't forget that.
He lasted a full 6 seconds. Credit to him.
But he still had it.
But here's a name that's not on the card that nobody's been really mentioning. Kane.
He's running for office. He said he wanted to leave wrestling.
It's a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I could see him coming back one more time for this.
Yeah, I could see him coming back and winning, and that kind of being his last big thing before he takes time off.
It's a possibility. I mean, it's not something that I would really, bet the farm on, especially since I don't have a farm. But if he is in the mix, I mean, he's been doing a great job at Royal Rumbles and stuff in the past, and he's won Battle Royals on the pre-show of WrestleManias in the past, so could happen. Especially if there's like Chavo later on from the beat.
If this were laid out like the Royal Rumble or something where they could do it more of a surprise entrant, but with this, like the last couple of years, they just have everybody just sort of come out all at once. And that's kind of how it was when it was Baron Corbin. We're like, hey, is that Baron Corbin walking down the ramp with everybody else? And he ended up winning. So
they might do something where, it is a pre-show, so they can talk while people are coming out and stuff. And they might give a handful of people entrances.
Yeah.
At the very least, Big Show should be going on last if there's no surprises. Because it's always like, I don't know, at least in my mind, if you're going to have somebody represent the Andre the Giant memorial idea, it's Big Show,
Yeah.
He's got the strap and everything like that, so. Do you guys think there's going to be any surprises from NXT? Any legends coming back? Or the Cruiserweight's going to get involved? Or the United Kingdom people are going to be in the match?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm not anticipating that
much.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ty Dillinger again or something like that.
I don't think we're going to get anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Now, Tyler Bate, maybe. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more.
I don't know.
If Tyler Bate comes out there, are you going to be singing that song, Sean?
Oh, damn fucking hell. I'll be singing the fucking Tyler Bate song. No. Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate.
It's so much more complicated. The song's good. I love this song, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like just like taking a random ass song and applying it to things that don't matter. Like we should start doing that with other songs, Take All About That Bass and reply to like Gold Dust or some shit. Like
it's certainly no Enzo Amore to the tune of Seven Nation Army.
It's on par, but at least Enzo's is kind of like it flows a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
So my gun to my head was Braun Strowman, and who else hasn't said their prediction yet? I've lost track.
I still got Sami Zayn winning.
We've all said it. I'm for Strowman. I'm with you, Tony.
Drew and I are on the same page. I got Drew over on my side with the Sami Zayn camp.
Yeah, me and
your
Caitlin
side
got
sucks.
this, Tony.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you're the deal breaker when it comes to this. Not the deal breaker, the tiebreaker. You're the deal breaker, Sean.
He's kind of the deal breaker too. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw another name in the hat. I'm gonna go Luke Harper.
That's right. Luke Harper's not in the official count. I forgot about him. Huh.
Okay.
Not a bad choice. He could be a potential winner. He was just in the title hunt. So why
That would
haven't
be-
they announced him yet?
Oh
What
my
the
God,
hell?
yeah. He disappeared from my mind until you just said that.
The final two is gonna be Braun Strowman versus Luke Harper.
I would love to see that.
I'm cool with that.
That'd be cool.
But then I'm still going to say Strowman.
Yeah, still same here.
Yeah.
So we're done with the pre-show stuff. By this point, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, I'm fucking tired. And we have 4 hours left to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully the energy picks right back up. And I think that a good potential match to do that with is the Raw Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder match. They've added a ladder to the mix now just because they decided to have a ladder on Raw. And it was like, hey, I like that idea. Hit each other with ladders. That seems fun.
Ladders
So-
are very, very dangerous,
Listen,
according
they-
to Brent.
they have to- They have to keep up with the tradition of having a ladder match every year, Tony. Come on.
Yep.
You know this now.
Well, right beforehand, before they had the whole ladder thing come out and all that, I was still of the mindset that Ambrose versus Corbin was going to be a ladder match. Because even though they didn't have any ladder stuff, they were brawling backstage. And I was just sort of like, well, Ambrose is a brawler. Corbin is a guy that I think could work well with a brawling situation. And we already have like a generic street fight type of thing with the non-sanctioned match. And the fatal 4-way elimination match is going to be a little bit weird, like that kind of thing. So I was thinking that they were going to throw the IC title with the ladder again because they've been doing that so often. But we do have now it's 6 people in a ladder match instead of the normal 7. And it's slightly different because it's a tag team thing, but I like it. I like these teams to a certain extent, variations between the two, the three of them. I'm going Gallows and Anderson retaining here, though. I think people are going to be disappointed. I don't think Enzo's going to be walking around with the title on Monday night.
Tony, listen. Anytime Enzo Amore and Big Cass are in a title match, I'm just going to say them just for the sake of... So when they do win it, I can say I'm right. This is going to be my Seth Rollins moment. They're going to win the titles.
The Baron Corbin one to watch.
Oh, yes. In the Enzo Amore and Big Cass, big ones to watch. The big guys.
Enzo Amore and big guys instead of Big Cass. Sean, do you think we're going to get new champions, or are you leaning one way or another with different people?
I am going to go with Kaz and Little Enzo.
Kaz? Changes the disease.
Yeah, Kaz.
Big Chaz.
Kaz and Little Enzo. And they're going to lose to the next night on Raw.
To Maryse and Miz. I'd be okay with it. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Kaylin and Angie, you think Enzo and Cass have a shot? Are they going to pull a Kane here?
I'm giving them a shot in my mind because I really am not sure on it. I'd like to see them win, but it would not surprise me if Gallows and Anderson retained.
Nobody here thinks that Cesaro and Sheamus really have a chance in this, do they?
No.
Come on, guys. I think they got a shot.
Guys, come on, Cesaro and Sheamus got a shot. No, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Gallows and Anderson retained, but I think they're going to let Enzo and Cass pick up the titles this Sunday. I think this is my fantasy booking. They're going to get the titles this Sunday. Monday night, they're going to have a rematch, and it's going to be interference from a tag team that goes hard all day, all night.
The Bollywood Boys.
Yes. I think we're going to get Revival on Monday.
And I was just preparing the house. I went and I prepared your a little bit.
Febreze, we already talked about their match.
Breezango's not in the match. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't talking around that time because I want to keep that in. I'm not editing that. This is what we hear in the background every once in a while on when Drew's on podcasts, everybody.
Oh.
He pulled a reverse Wago where he thought he
reverse Wago.
An unwago. I think if anybody is going to win the titles, it's going to be Enzo and Cass. You can't really put too much stock in Sheamus and Cesaro at this point. And I'm sort of leaning towards the idea that they're going to just kind of hang around and do nothing until the draft, and then they're going to be split up, those two.
Enzo and Cass?
No, Cesaro and Sheamus.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they came together because they didn't know what to do with them. They did end up winning the crowd over and work well together. So they're still around as a tag team, but they're not going to last.
And the only reason that they're in this match right now is because they work well enough as a tag team that they can make this a triple threat and not just be two more names in the Battle Royal, because they weren't going to get anything else. And if they weren't going to split up and have some kind of a match dedicated to the two of them facing each other, which they could do at maybe they split up over this, maybe they lose and it's kind of like, Sheamus is pissed and he turns heel again or something like that. Maybe do a match at Payback. I don't know. Probably not. They're going to lose no matter what. And Enzo and Cass, either they win the titles here or they win it at Payback. But they're going to be champions by Payback, I think. Gallows and Anderson, they're not as good as Chad Too Bad and Tex Ferguson. They're not going to hold on too long to those titles. But
no.
My big thing with this is I think that we're going to get that match coupled up with that Intercontinental title match. And I don't think Dean Ambrose is losing. So that's why I think we're not going to get two title changes. And if we're going to get a title change between the two of them, the triple threat one, the ladder match, I'm leaning more towards it happening with that one. Because I think Baron Corbin is going to win it at Backlash instead. And I'm harping on this idea and I'm stuck in my brain about it, that Ambrose and Corbin are not going to be as good without a stipulation. So I think we're getting a Falls Count Anywhere match or something at Backlash. And I don't know, maybe the Intercontinental title changes hands, maybe it doesn't. Only one of those two I think is going to change hands. So I'm I guess I got to change my mind a little bit here. Gallows and Anderson lose those tag titles. And, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here with Ambrose retaining against Baron Corbin and then losing it at Backlash. But as far as the IC title match goes, you guys think Ambrose is going to win? You guys think Corbin's going to win? What's the future of this whole feud?
Well, Baron Corbin's the one to watch, right? So he's going to win.
Well, he's the one to watch, not the one to win necessarily.
No, he's the one to win, though. He's going to watch and win.
You have to watch him win.
Yeah, no, he's going to watch the match, sit down, and he's going to win.
I can't be standing up.
No. Well, see, he's going to be like sitting on like each step of the ladder and like scoot himself up. That's how he's going to get up to the top. And then he's going to sit on the top of the ladder and then reach up and win.
This one is not a ladder match.
Yeah, Ambrose is going to be doing the same thing on the other side.
Are you sure he's not going to be busy for breezing something?
No. I thought my mic was muted.
Yeah, we know. I wish this was a video conference right now because you probably look so goddamn embarrassed.
Not too much actually. I just do. I think I might gonna kill myself later.
I'll give you a couple more reasons why after we're done, but I think Corbin's gonna be getting that belt, but he's not getting it until a little bit later. Drew, you're thinking Corbin's somehow gonna climb up a ladder and win.
Like a 5-year-old going up steps.
Yep.
Yeah. The whole one step at a time, and it's like the thud each step. Or a dog that doesn't know how to go down the steps and kind of like takes its time, Kaylin and Angie, what do you think's happening? Are we getting a new IC title holder, or are we getting Ambrose cracking a couple jokes and keeping it?
Based on how they've been pushing Corbin, I think he's going to win it.
This Sunday?
Corbin as well.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I disagree. I think this feud is going to go on just a little bit longer. I think Ambrose is going to retain on Sunday. I think it's going to be a lackluster match.
Yeah.
I think if they would have added some kind of stipulation, it would have been better. As much as I love Dean Ambrose, this is one that I'm thinking is kind of going to be a blah match, but we'll see. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope I'm surprised. I think Ambrose retains, and then this just continues.
I can't disagree with you about the whole it might be blah. And I like both of them a lot. I really was looking forward to this match, actually, but it's a bathroom break match. It's going to be a buffer one for sure.
I know that I'm disappointed. As soon as I saw it, just like they're going to treat it as one, and it's going to end up being like one. Yeah, I love Ambrose to death, and I want to see him retain it and stay champion. But I can just see them screwing him over and letting Corbin win because of how they've been pushing him.
Yeah, after WrestleMania, I don't think this is going to be in the top half of matches we're talking about afterwards.
I'd go so far as to say people are probably going to forget it even happened by the end of the night.
Especially
unless
if they
it's
make
like towards the end. Sean, Corbin's your one to watch perpetually from now on. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, I know. That's why he's going to lose.
I love the optimism.
I want him to win. Of course I want him to win, but it's not going to fucking happen. It's never going to happen. They'll probably give Dean Ambrose his swan song before shipping him off to Raw, and he'll lose the title eventually down the line. But, I'm not looking forward to this match. I really don't care about this match. I really don't care about this feud. So
I don't think Ambrose is going to be leaving in the draft. I mean, we're like well enough in advance right now that that's kind of like a random ass prediction, but I think that they're going to keep Ambrose and Renee Young together on SmackDown. Something to, keep in mind for the future, everybody.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Let's go to what I think is going to be the worst match of the night. AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
You think that's the worst match of the night?
I'd rather.
Let me put it this way.
It's got a shot to be good.
It's going to be the worst match of the night because it could be better. I'll put it that way, because there's two other matches that are going to be potentially worse if it's just a matter of like Goldberg and Lesnar are real quick and that sucks, or if Nia Jax is in that match too long, then that'll suck. But I can't imagine Styles and Shane having a really good standard wrestling match. Shane is so much better when he's getting a brawling situation too. And they're, I mean, they even called attention to it on SmackDown this week. He was just sort of like, "You're not a fucking wrestler," and it's like, yeah, he's not. And he throws those weak ass punches. Like, it's gonna throw me off, and I'm not too big of a fan of this at all.
Yeah, this is another one of those that I think, because their styles don't match, like you said. This would be better if it weren't just a standard singles match. This is one of 4 matches on the card. The entire WrestleMania card and pre-show, only 4 of them are not for a title or a trophy. 4 of the 13. But this is one of them. And I think that it would be better if it were a street fight or something, because that's where Shane excels. AJ Styles is good. AJ Styles puts on classics. Shane McMahon is a spot fest.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
it.
He's already done the elbow drop.
Yeah.
Like,
so
they gave that away already. So yeah, like, what does that mean? You know?
And they were saying, well, you can be counted out. Basically it's just a standard match. So normally Shane goes outside and does some kind of crazy shit, jumps off of something or whatever. People are speculating he's going to jump off the roller coaster that's part of the thing.
Or he is going to use that roller coaster in some way.
But if they specified that there's a 10 count, you can be counted out. They made a point to mention that. So I don't know.
Maybe there's a ref bump.
So
yeah.
So do you think in some way, shape, or form, since this match probably won't go that long, do you think there's any way that someone gets up there and helps Shane?
No.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are leaning towards Nakamura, and I don't think it's happening.
I don't see that.
I wouldn't go that route. I was thinking more about a retired GM.
Yeah.
I think we have to at least talk about it, because we have to talk about it every pay-per-view, whether or not Daniel Bryan's going to return. That's the
I thought you meant Teddy Long.
No, Teddy Long is actually going to be the referee for the Brock Lesnar match.
Okay.
If it was Shane McMahon versus The Miz, I would have thought, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think any chance of it happening.
Nope.
I would have gone with that as my booking instead, but no, if they would have known that they could get Daniel Bryan to do some kind of like physicality, I think that they would have just booked Styles versus Bryan. Then that would have been like, holy shit, everybody wants to see this match. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But now that you brought up the roller coaster thing, at this point, if they don't have Shane McMahon ride a roller coaster and at the very end he crashes into AJ Styles, I'm going to be disappointed.
Exactly.
Have you seen pictures of the set they're building?
I haven't even seen pictures of it yet, and I already want it to happen.
Yeah. It looks interesting.
Austin Piataman was sending me a couple screenshots of like some different things around the area, but nothing that like actually looked like a roller coaster quite yet. So
after we're done here, I'll link you to some stuff.
Does it look like a fun roller coaster, or is it one of those lame duck kind of things where it's like, the local carnival bullshit?
Yeah.
Just goes around in a weird circle.
It's like the equivalent of going up and down a hill in the car,
Well, I don't want to overhype it, but it is the ultimate thrill ride.
I want it to be like that King Dakar, but with like, at the end, you don't know if you're going to survive. That kind of a thing. I'm thinking this is AJ Styles' match to lose, though. And if he does lose this, it has to be something that has to be like a ref bump and Shane uses weapons so he can complain about it afterward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only way.
It's going to be shit.
No way.
And during the whole match, AJ Styles is going to have to he's going to make him, I'm sorry.
To make Shane what?
No, AJ is making himself look bad so Shane can get moves on him. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to lay there like just the, 15 seconds too long, doing nothing, just constantly waiting for Shane to set up moves. And I hate watching matches like that.
Where one guy really has to carry the other guy.
Wrestlers fighting non-wrestlers.
Well, because AJ Styles is one of those wrestlers that everyone says, he could have a good match with a broom. Well, here, Shane McMahon is the broom.
Eventually, somebody's going to have to put this broom in a match, because I've been hearing about this broom for so damn long.
And you have to make that broom look really, really nice.
Yeah, make the broom look strong.
It's a good broom, yeah.
What would the broom's finisher be? Leg sweep?
I was going to say the big sweep, but...
Yeah.
Same page, same mindset.
The GTS, go to sweep.
That's a good one. We could have a whole repertoire of the whole thing, you know? Instead of the super kick, it's the super stick. And it can fight Moppy. It's great feud.
Oh, poor
I think
Moppy.
we just made a cartoon character.
I think that this sounds a lot more interesting than Styles versus Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Especially if the broom and the mop are on the fucking roller coaster.
And don't forget the bucket of water in the back seat.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's
Mop
a triple
goes
threat match
there.
now. Does anybody think Shane McMahon's actually going to win?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Me. I reckon he's gonna win. That's why AJ retreats to Raw. Mhm.
Or is forced to Raw.
Was there a stipulation like that where if AJ loses, he has to...
No, but everybody knows that AJ is the one that's going to Raw and Roman's the one that's coming to SmackDown.
Well, that's just a rumor at this
100%.
point.
That's 100% guaranteed at this fucking point.
Yeah,
Trust,
Tony, jeez.
if the bookies in my country have fucking closed odds on it, you know it's gonna happen.
I could see a scenario where if he does lose, he gets on the mic afterwards and says, "You know what? I quit. I'm going to Raw," or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
little backstage segment with Stephanie on Monday Night Raw afterward, and it's just kind of like, we're signing the contracts, and
You know what? If that was the case, why didn't Cesaro just go to SmackDown by quitting?
because he's dumb.
Oh.
I don't know.
I bet Cesaro isn't the brightest tool in the shed. All that spinning has got to him. It's a drug.
Well, if we do get some kind of thing with the whole general manager situation, that could play into this a little bit. We don't have a general manager for Raw right now.
What if AJ Styles becomes the GM of Raw? I'd so watch Raw just for that.
Does anybody expect that we're going to get an announcement at WrestleMania for that, or is it going to wait until Monday Night Raw for it?
No, we're not going to know.
Do you think if it's Kurt Angle, do you think he announces it at the Hall of Fame? Wouldn't that be crazy? What?
They're not going to make an announcement, a kayfabe announcement like that at Hall of Fame, I don't think.
Nah, he'll come out if it is him, which of course rumor has it could be him. I don't think it will be, but if it is him, he'll come out on Raw, I think, and do it, or at least they'll do a backstage thing at WrestleMania. I don't think they'll make a big deal about it, and coming out to the ring, the new Raw general manager at WrestleMania, that kind of a thing.
Right.
Unless it's something like specifically tied into a storyline, maybe in the non-sanctioned match, or maybe I don't know, maybe something along those lines. But I'm leaning more towards that they just kind of push this off on the back burner and they don't say anything at WrestleMania. Something to pay attention to. Another thing to kind of... You know what? Actually, maybe that would be a good way to do something with the New Day. You know they're going to have at least a couple backstage segments.
Oh, of course.
Huh. So Sean is the only one that's going for Shane, right?
Yep.
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 You don't have many supporters, Shane. Talking about giving something support, this is another match that I'm not looking forward to. There's not many things that I'm really not that excited for WrestleMania. This is one of them that is just sort of on that shitter list, and that's the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the Raw Women's Championship. You got the same 4 people that have been the only 4 people on Raw for months on end, because Dana Brooke isn't in the mix, and she's been missing.
Mm-hmm.
Emma/Emelina has spent 15 minutes on Raw for the past year? And
Not
all
even
that
that.
was her going, Emelina. I hate how she fucking says that so much. Ugh.
I want to know why that happened. Whose
Why the
bright
way she
idea
says
that
that, or
was?
the whole Emelina
No,
thing
the
in
whole
general?
The whole
thing.
teasing
Who
the
fucked
Emelina
up?
thing, and then
who came up with that? Who decided
Switching.
it was trash? I just want to know.
And I don't know if are they punishing her or what? Yeah, I don't get what the backstage reason is for doing it this way.
The Dirt Sheet scandal, if you believe it or not, I don't know, like the, credibility of it, was that they thought that she would do a good job with that whole gimmick, and they kept pushing it off because they kept going, well, I don't know, it's not quite there yet. And finally, that week where she came out and she said, we're going to go back to Emelina, that was the week where they were like, you know what, fuck it. And that's also the same week with Kelly. And that they might give the same basic gimmick to Kelly.
Oh boy.
So they were just fine. They
basically
her
gave Emma a character that she couldn't portray and then don't know what to do with her, essentially.
But they built it. They should have dropped it. They shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
They should have tested it out before they even ran a single vignette. Like, she doesn't really have that much personality to be able to pull that off. She's a nice girl, She did a fucking cooking channel thing on YouTube. And it's like, I made muffins and they're great. It's like, that's not the next person I'm thinking is going to be like the stuck-up bitch character, She should be more like homely and probably just go over to SmackDown where they'll let her wrestle a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made her look bad and they made themselves look bad.
I hate this fatal four-way in a couple different ways. I'm sick of Charlotte. I don't like Nia Jax at all. And Sasha isn't heel. Heel Sasha against Bayley is what I wanted. So they're just going to waste some time. Nia Jax is going to sit there and knock a couple people down, and then, somebody's going to do a roll-up pin on her or something.
Yeah, this match is not going to be good.
I have zero expectations for this to be good, and it sucks because Bayley is a really good in-ring performer, and Sasha Banks is really good, and Charlotte, as much as I hate how much they've put her in the spotlight, she can put on some good matches, and I do not care. I mean, I might force myself to take a bathroom break in this, even if I don't need to pee, just to kind of get it out of the way,
Tony, just smoke a little bud or something. That's what the kids do. That's just that's how you get through it.
Sad thing is, this match is probably going to be the longest match on the fucking card.
No way.
Yeah.
Watch they go Women's Revolution and both women's matches go 20 plus.
Oh,
God. I wouldn't say it would be the longest, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was the third longest. Orton, Wyatt, and Jericho Owens, I think, could go longer, and the other ones are going to be shorter, but this could end up getting a good chunk of time. I'm not too shocked with Sean's opinion there.
I won't be surprised as well if Nia Jax is the first one eliminated.
She better be, fuck. For the sake of the match, she better be.
Wait, hold on. This is an elimination match now?
Yeah. They added the elimination stipulation to it.
So this is why this match is going to go on for fucking ever.
God. Maybe Bayley will just roll everyone up super fast.
I'd love it if she just tripped down the ring and didn't make it.
Oh, for storyline wise, they've just been clawing at air with these four women.
You know what? I just thought about this. They've been doing the Snickers tie-in for WrestleMania. What if Tamina does not show up in the SmackDown thing? What if this is all a big ruse? And they've been doing the whole, you feel confused when you're hungry, have a Snickers. Nia Jax eats a Snickers backstage, and Tamina comes out instead. Then I would be down for it. Tamina's a better in-ring performer.
Because she's a monster.
Or what if Nia, she opens a Snickers, turns around, you could see her take a bite and turns back around and it's her.
I like it.
Or she takes a bite and it's Bastion Booger. I'm going with Bayley retaining here. I'm going to be pissed beyond imagination if Charlotte wins. If Nia wins at that point.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Sasha, just for story.
Storyline, here's what I'm thinking. I think Nia Jax or Charlotte is eliminated first, doesn't matter. Then the other one's eliminated. It comes down to Bayley and Sasha. Bayley retains by rolling up her best friend, Sasha Banks. And the next night on Raw, Sasha Banks turns heel on Bayley.
Yep. Going in the exact same way here. Sasha Bayley is the future for that feud. I mean, they can't just go back to Charlotte and Bayley. Worse off, Sasha and Charlotte.
No, I think that's where they're going to go. I think people are, were saying that Sasha's going to turn at WrestleMania. I don't believe so. Bayley retains by pinning Sasha. Sasha's pissed. Next night on Raw, turns on Bayley. And then that's your feud going forward.
You get
I'm
a little
absolutely-
in-ring segment where it's kind of like, people thought that we weren't going to be able to get together after this and all that, but I just want to congratulate you on your win, and now I'm slamming your head into the turnbuckle, that kind of a thing.
Yep.
I mean,
And
she's
we
not going to
finally-
announce that ahead of time, but
We finally get our heel Sasha Banks that we've been waiting for since NXT.
No, I was thinking they were going to make Bayley lose it because they've been treating her like crap anyways, and Sasha was going to turn on her in the middle of the match.
Possible.
Because why would they let Bayley win at WrestleMania?
it is a
'Cause
little weird that
WrestleMania.
they gave her the title ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
instead of her winning it here.
No, I don't think someone up there does not like Bayley. So it's like, why the hell would they let her retain that at WrestleMania?
Some backstage creative guys like, I'm not a hugger, I'm a kisser. I don't like this chick.
Exactly.
So, Angie, you have Sasha winning.
Yes.
Kaylin, you and I have Bayley.
Yep.
Drew and Sean, who you leaning towards?
Oh, let's go with Bayley. Why not? I really don't care who wins. This division has given me nothing to care for the most part, so I really don't care who wins, and it's kind of sad because I like all of them, kind of. Maybe, who knows? So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Sean?
I really don't give a shit at this point.
I know, but sad. I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I've had enough of these four birds. I really have. It's like 1 week is Charlotte, next week is Sasha. I really don't give a shit. Fuck it. I'll pick the fat one.
Charlotte?
It is weird to think that Raw's women's division has 3 of their best performers in the ring, yet they are so much worse than the SmackDown women's division.
Yeah.
And the SmackDown women's division is a mess, but with a lot of different possible stories they could do, but
Does anybody here think that Dana Brooke gets involved at all?
Yeah, I think she does.
In what regard?
I think she could be the reason why Charlotte gets eliminated.
Yeah, I could see that, and then feud with them going forward.
Yeah, because if they do Sasha Banks and Bayley, like the whole heel turn thing, they're not going to have Charlotte have nothing to do. They like her too goddamn much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you do either Nia, Charlotte, which at that point, one of them has to turn face, and I don't think that they want to do that, or you do Dana Brooke and Charlotte. And then Nia Jax she just goes and fucks off somewhere. But, yeah,
I think they're going to start booking Nia Jax as more of a tweener, too. I don't think she's going to be a straight heel. She'll just be the powerhouse tweener, I think, going forward.
yeah. I don't see her as a heel right now.
So I'm going to give you guys an over-under. Over-under, let's say 60%. What are the chances the crowd hijacks this match and chants for Paige stuff?
Ooh.
I'd expect more of them to do CM Punk chants.
The Punk one's a good one, too, yeah.
I could see the crowd overdoing.
But yeah, I would expect some, maybe CM Punk chants or Randy Savage or something. Yeah, just they're going to be bored.
Yep.
I really hope we get some good chants throughout the night. Like, some real asshole douchey chants, Not just like, CM Punk, Randy Savage.
Get your tits out for the lads.
Where's the cadence of that?
Get your tits out for the lads. Yeah.
There's not many things that Americans can still be proud of nowadays. One of them is the fact that when we get our chants going, we know as soon as somebody says it one time, we all know how to get on board and say it again. Somebody starts going, get your tits out for the lads. It's like, we're not going to, everybody's going to turn around and be like, what's wrong with this dude?
I got kicked out of a pub for chanting that.
Well, if you were the only one and it was the middle of the pub and you were yelling it at the top of your lungs.
I was on a stag do.
You were on a what?
A bachelor party.
What did you call it, though? A stag do?
A stag do. That's what we call it in this country, yeah. The men have a stag do, the women have a hen do.
Hen do? Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
The
not
stags
used
in
to
the
that
hat?
at all. Going stag means something over here, and stag is like a deer too, isn't it?
It's a
Yes,
male.
it is. It's a male deer.
Yeah.
So you got a deer do, and a hen do. Cultures are weird.
On with the show.
Yeah. But now that we took the history lesson and the world cultures lesson out of the mix, John Cena, Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse.
I'm
with
leaving the
special
room.
guest ring announcer Al fucking Roker. What?
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 Yeah,
When?
Al Roker is the fucking guest commentator for this. Oh, ring announcer, yeah.
I don't understand this at all. It's just
It's because John Cena was on his show or some shit, and he was like, "Do you want to do our ring announcer?" And he was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "All right, fuck it, why not?"
That's such a weird ass choice. Like, Al Roker? Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about WrestleMania, where we've had, like, I mean, the celebrities list has been crazy over the years. Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Mike Tyson. We've had Shaquille O'Neal in a battle royal. And now we have Al Roker doing ring announcing? That's going to be the most awkward thing of the entire night. And it could be brilliant. Just pure insanity kind of stuff. I hope he doesn't get involved in it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how
jeez.
he could.
He does weather, right?
Yeah.
He's the weatherman.
Is he going to introduce, like, the hurricane or something? Have him come out? Like,
Stand back.
I told you, when this match starts, I am leaving the room.
I think
this
we
is
can
your
all.
least favorite of the night?
Yes.
Why?
It's just, I just don't want to see it.
I think
And
we can
don't
all
wanna see
predict
what's going to
exactly
happen.
what's going to happen here. This is probably the most predictable match on the whole card, I would say.
Oh yeah, Cena wins, LOL. But like, this is probably the most exciting match on this entire fucking card. This is probably
Oh,
the one
fuck
that's had the most
Why?
build up. This is not the best build up on anything.
You watch Total Divas, don't you?
You watch
I've not
Total
been watching
Divas.
SmackDown. I've not been watching the Total Smack. It's fucking great. Or Total
Oh, you
Smack, whatever.
turned into a drama queen, didn't you?
It's fucking amazing. Tony, you're with me on this, right?
I will give you this. The build up to the feud has been great.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Oh.
Hearing the Miz talk has been great.
Oh yeah, and
I
I
got a
want to
little
see.
bit sick of the Total Bellas bullshit thing. They didn't need to do a second one of them. This one wasn't as funny, but
No.
the first one was good.
Oh, yeah.
Another reason why I don't want to watch this is because I want the Miz to win, and he's not going to
Oh,
win.
no. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
way.
They are
I want
not going to win.
I want the Miz to win. I put that down in my predictions earlier on, but like, it's not. But still, like, it's be fantastic, you know.
I would love Miz and Maryse to win, but they're not going to. It's going to be, we all know how it's going to end. It's going to be Cena and Nikki simultaneously hitting the AA and the rack attack, or both doing the STF or some submission move. And Miz and Maryse are both going to get pinned or submit at the same exact time. And then after the match, John's going to propose to Nikki in the ring. We all know that's going to happen.
See, here's the thing I have about that bothers me. I like John Cena a lot more now than I used to. But I am rooting for The Miz, and I don't expect The Miz to win whatsoever. And I'm excited to see Maryse come back, because I like Maryse. I mean, she's never been the best wrestler, but she's hot and she's interesting. So having her come back into the mix, maybe she's learned a little bit more, or maybe it's just something different. I don't know. The proposal aspect, if they wouldn't have spoiled this, I would have been into. And
How do you mean they spoiled it?
Well, they've been talking about this for weeks and weeks about that's going to be the end of the whole thing, and it's like you're clearly building up to something with the proposal and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't like Total Divas. I've never watched Total Bellas. I can't stand that kind of crap anymore. But
you used to.
I tried so hard to watch that for like 3 seasons, and it was brutal.
3 seasons.
Wow,
Christ.
I never even got through one episode.
Yep, I tried to do my best to do like coverage of it on the website and stuff, and I was just like, I got to a point where I'm like, guys, look, I know I have a website for this, and I should watch everything, but I can't. Like, I can't anymore.
Take advice from your own t-shirt design. Total bullshit.
Yeah. Which they took down a bunch of Sonic t-shirts again the other day. I'm so pissed about that. I'm gonna have to re-upload those again, you jerks. But the thing with the proposal that bugs me, And this is something that you would think as somebody who watches Total Divas and Total Bellas would actually get more upset about than somebody who hates it. Poor Nikki Bella, if that's true. You've had everybody know that you're going to get proposed to at that specific time, and you just got the whole surprise spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks, like that
well,
should
no,
be...
because she's the one who's making him do it.
Oh yeah, it's been in the plans and the works for
she doesn't
months
care.
or years. Yeah, she's
if she's vain enough that she doesn't care, then she can go to hell. You know what I mean?
That's,
like that
that's
kind of
what
thing.
I thought. Just based on my observation of her.
Of course, she's going to act surprised.
Oh yeah, she is not a nice person.
How fucking fantastic would this be, though? And I don't think it's happening, so people don't get your hopes up. John Cena and Nikki Bella win the match. John Cena gets down on one knee, pulls out the ring. She gets all surprised. He's like, Nikki, will you marry me? She says yes. He comes up, gives her a hug, picks her up, gives her an attitude adjustment. We finally get the John Cena heel turn.
Oh, wow.
I would pay money.
Yeah.
That would be the most over thing of the entire night, because it would just be like, how do you turn John Cena heel? He fucks up a proposal. He hits his finisher on a woman of all things.
Yeah, but right before that, she announces that she's pregnant with his kid. And then
John Jr. My God, I would mark out so much for that, because it would just be like, everybody would be talking about that as the greatest heel turn of all time.
As it would be.
And then he just links up with the Miz and Maryse. It's been a joke this whole time. That's why every time that they did this whole joking Total Bellas thing, that he kept going, oh, it's funny. It's funny. It's like, because he really thought it was funny. Oh, it would be fantastic. But it's not happening. We're getting the proposal. We're getting all that stuff. And it's going to be one of those things we see for every video package of WrestleMania going forward.
Yep.
Anybody think that the Miz and Maryse actually have a chance to win? Albeit a small one even. I'm not even giving them a 5% chance.
No.
The question, are they going to do the simultaneous AA and rack attack or simultaneous submission move? What do you think?
Both.
I think they're going both. Do the attitude adjustment into the submission.
What do you think is going to be the one that... Oh, okay. I got you. The final one's going to be a submission, you think? Yeah. I can see it.
That way they both tap out in the middle of the thing. That's not very sing-songy.
I was gonna say, yeah, where's the cadence in that one?
Oh, fuck it. I'm frustrated.
So, we have no more Drew on the line. Some of you are going to be like, yay, I'm going to continue to listen. And some of you are going to be like, boo, he was my favorite. I voted for him 1 year. And
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. That's the specific of it. He might be popping up a little bit later on, but he had to go fuck off with Febreze or something. I don't know. Let's move on to what I think is going to be my favorite match of the night, if it's not going to be the Cruiserweight title match, which is the United States Championship match, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens.
Yes. I'm looking forward to this.
I've been adamantly harping on the idea that this should have been for the Universal title instead. Fuck Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. They could have had that match just be normal, and it would have caused no controversy whatsoever. It would have stopped a bunch of negative consequences from happening too, because we're going to get Brock Lesnar holding the Universal title and not doing a damn thing for months. And the big change around is going to be United States Champion Kevin Owens instead of Universal Champion Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I don't understand that mentality, except the possibility of what we were talking about earlier with that whole Braun Strowman thing. Maybe. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but here's something I want to pitch to you guys, just to remind everybody that it's not a guarantee that Kevin Owens will win the title here. Jericho is going to be leaving. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that he's going to be leaving right after WrestleMania, though. Payback is the end of the month. He could lose the title on Raw. He could lose the title at Payback. He might retain here.
I still think Kevin Owens is winning.
Yeah, I'm still down for Owens this time.
We're going to round that out. Everybody thinks it's going to be Kevin Owens. I still think it's going to be Kevin Owens too. But
yeah.
It's not.
But no, you're right. It could happen.
No, we don't know that Jericho is going to disappear the night after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
We know he's not going to be around in 3 months from now, probably. But It's still
Random
meow.
sounds. I agree.
It's still kind of up in the air where they're going to go with this, but I don't know. I agree with what you said at the top that this should have been for the Universal Championship instead of the US title, but it's still, there's a title on the line.
It's cool. Better than nothing, and at least we're getting the match, and it's, the feud's been interesting and all that, but
oh yeah, and as soon as they started being best buddies, you knew that was leading to this, and you knew it's going to be a good match. So I've enjoyed the feud so far, and I hope the match delivers. I think it shall. Both of these guys know what the hell they're doing. So there you go.
They'd better not screw this on time.
No, they better give them enough time, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I could see him doing
Well, I don't know. Maybe we could get another Pitbull song instead,
Yeah.
Oh, who are you going to be rooting for? That's a different story than who do you think is going to win?
Oh, actually, I don't think I would be rooting for either of them. I would be rooting for getting their moves off when they...
You just want everybody to have a good time.
I just want to see them destroy each other. Or try to destroy each other.
Can't I just bet that they're all going to have a good time?
Yes.
This one is clear, easy for me. I do like Jericho, but Owens is my favorite. Gotta root for Owens. I can never not root for Owens.
Well, since I pitched a strange idea for how the John Cena match could end, I'm going to throw out another little thing out here, just because, why not? What if we see the reunification of Team Jericho, where they become best friends again, and they decide that they're just going to go on a roller coaster ride together, and we just see the two of them next to each other, like, whee!
I want to see that roller coaster ride, but I have no idea how in the world that could ever happen.
No, yeah, good luck with that, Tony.
I'll tell you how. Kevin Owens loves Disney World.
He does. That's true.
They're in Orlando.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Chris buys him tickets.
Just, have some kind of a scene where he gets an easy pass and he's got a second one and he goes, Jericho. So let bygones be bygones. Let's do Tower or something like that.
And then to get to the match, they both come in the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. You got Roller Coaster of Love playing in the background.
Yeah, the Roller Coaster of Love. Perfect.
And it's Pitbull singing it. No, I think that this is going to be Kevin Owens' match to lose. Jericho could be retaining it here, but the easiest way, just like I mentioned before, if you want to talk about an easy way to get around doing the Braun Strowman Battle Royal thing, the easy way to do things here is to just have Jericho lose and not have to book something crazy on Raw or whatever. But I would not be shocked whatsoever if Jericho wins and then loses on Raw, just to have some kind of means to have Jericho get like a finality sort of thing, and then Raw, it's easier to play around with that kind of stuff. Maybe like somebody screws Jericho, or maybe Owens cheats to win, and then somebody comes out and starts a feud with Owens. Then it's Owens against a different person at Payback for the United States title, Finn Balor, or I don't know, anybody at that point.
And what I could see happening on Monday, say Jericho does retain the next night on Monday. Then Jericho gets beaten so badly, whether it's by Owens or Strowman or whoever, but he gets beaten so badly that that's what writes him off the air for a while.
Yep. Comes back in, I don't know, Survivor Series time or something like that, and just either picks it back up where he left off or goes and does something else. I don't know. But I'm going Owens. Everybody else is going Owens as well. Anybody want to toss anything else out there about this match? Something you're interested in? Something that might be a problem? Anything on either side?
No. It's going to be a good match, but nothing. I can't see anything too crazy happening.
So let's move on to the non-sanctioned match. Triple H versus Seth Rollins. They have not said, to my knowledge, that there's even going to be a referee. So do you guys think this is actually going to be a match, or is it going to be a brawl?
How can it be a match at all without some kind of referee?
It'll be a match. There'll be a ref. I think there'll be a ref just to count to 3. But other than that, I think it's going to be nothing. Basically a no DQ street fight. Falls count anywhere.
They could go with the no holds barred, like no DQ, no countouts, regular match type of thing, I'm starting to think that they aren't going to have a match at all, really. That it's just going to be a beatdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, and the whole thing is, if Seth Rollins is healthy enough that he can perform a normal match, then they'll have a match, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll definitely be no DQ. I mean, it has to be at this point, because there's nothing else on the card for Samoa Joe to do other than get involved in this match. And for that matter,
and of course,
Finn Balor as well.
Yeah. And of course, we're going to see the sledgehammer to the injured knee of Rollins.
Of course.
I hope so.
Or almost, and then it getting knocked away.
Oh, we're going to see it.
If it's a sledgehammer to the knee and he gets up and he wins and he continues to wrestle on like Raw and all that kind of stuff, they need to stop using that sledgehammer because it's lost all its credibility at that point. I think that we're going to get Samoa Joe be in the mix here. I think that Finn Balor is going to make the save just because to get him on the card.
Yeah. Joe isn't in any scheduled match, is he?
Not a single one.
Nope.
Not even Battle Royal.
So you know he's coming out.
Yeah.
He has to be something in this. Unless it's like, I don't know, the last minute somebody gets replaced in some other kind of a match and Joe replaces that person. But I highly doubt that that's going to be the case. So Rollins standing tall at the end of this, even if it's one-legged, with Finn Balor is the picture I'm imagining. And Finn Balor is going to be the difference maker. And we get Joe and Balor afterward as a feud. Rollins kind of takes a little bit more time off because he can't be in like great shape right now. It's sort of like a distraction to kind of ease the minds of the WWE universe a little bit. Sort of like Triple H and Rollins brawl a little bit. Joe comes out. Balor comes out. Everybody fights. Rollins and Balor are posing at the end. Triple H comes out on Monday Night Raw and he's like, Finn Balor, what the fuck do you think you were doing? And then we have Triple H kind of step aside a little bit too because he's not going to be wrestling on Raw. And then we get Joe and Balor going forward. Kind of hits everything.
Yeah, sort of. This is the beginning of the Balor Samoa.
The Balor Samoa? They're a tag team.
Sorry. No. Never mind.
Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe, you mean?
Yeah. That's what I meant.
The Balor Samoans. Like the Wild Samoans, but...
That sounds like a good take. That sounds like a good name.
Sean, you were sounding kind of excited about this whole thing. Is it just because it's Rollins?
It was more being on the lines of sarcastic. I really don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit.
Even with Rollins in the mix.
Yeah, I've had enough of this fucking feud as well. This is fucking pants. If it's a match, Rollins wins. If not, Rollins is probably gonna leave on a stretcher and we'll never see him again. Until Backlash.
Backlash is the SmackDown one.
What's the Raw one?
Payback.
They
both have back.
Yeah. There you go. You'll come back at Payback, and they'll probably have a tag match with Samoa Joe and Triple H versus Finn Balor versus and Seth Rollins.
That'd be great if they were like, well, we've got Payback and Backlash, so they give NXT like Comeback or something.
Paylash.
Paylash, yeah. And it's sponsored by Payless. Why not?
They're not doing too good.
They could do a whole tie-in with the big boot. Big sale. So, Sean, unfortunately, I got to move on to another match you're not going to be all that into, which is Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker.
No!
Yes! I want this match to happen.
I got to go to you first about it, though.
Yeah.
Sean, what's happening here, man?
Well, what's going to happen is fucking Roman Reigns is going to fucking win, and that's when I turn it off. I've had enough. The only saving grace I can think of on this is the fact that Brock Lesnar broke the streak,
and it's not Roman Reigns that'll break it.
And it's not Roman Reigns. Yeah, even though if Roman Reigns is going to win, I'm still going to be pissed off, just because it's Roman Reigns winning. And Roman Reigns does not deserve to win this match. What the fuck has he done?
I'm nervous as hell that he's going to win it.
I hope he wins. I hope Roman Reigns wins.
Why? No. There are a few things that have to happen to make up for Roman Reigns winning. And if those few things don't happen, then yeah, I'm with Shane. I'm turning it off. I am screaming my head off in anger and hate.
I want Roman Reigns to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania dirty. I want him to cheat. I want this to be the final switch that flips and we get a full heel Roman Reigns. Finally, we've been begging for it.
I've been begging for him to get off my television.
Well, your opinion doesn't matter.
Here's my issue about it. I don't think they're going to turn Roman Reigns heel. I think that they are oblivious enough and ignorant enough that they're going to think that I'm hated if this is going to happen, and I hate that I even have it in my mind that it is. Roman Reigns is going to beat The Undertaker clean, and The Undertaker is going to give him a send-off and say, it's your yard now.
I lift up his arm in celebration, and both of them are going to share a moment in the ring, and I'm going to be like, yep.
Monday Night Raw comes around, Roman Reigns comes out, Undertaker comes out, Undertaker tips his hat and says, it's your yard now.
And then puts it on Roman Reigns' head.
I think that's going to happen, and if that happens, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. And it's not even because I hate Roman Reigns.
I do.
Like, I am very... I might be like the last person on this whole, like, everybody on the Smack Talk panel kind of thing that actually, like, was still sort of hanging on to a little bit of Roman Reigns.
I like Roman Reigns.
Okay, never mind. You still are then.
I don't like him in his current form. Well,
yeah.
Don't like as much as I would. You got a fucking full turn heel.
That's the big problem is Roman Reigns as a babyface. A couple, like 2 years ago, there was still a chance to turn it around.
Yeah.
For a good couple of months, it's dead. Like they cannot do it. It will not happen. And WWE is stupid if they think that they can get around it.
Yeah. No, Roman Reigns, they destroyed Roman Reigns' name.
He could be a huge baby face. Right now, like 80% of the crowd boos him. And I've read, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read something that supposedly Triple H is saying, well, you want to be a heel, 80% of the crowd is booing him. That sounds like a heel to me. So it sounds like you got what you want. It's like, well, not really, because that's not how you're booking him.
Right. You're not booking him as a heel. You're booking him as a babyface who isn't
that people
going
hate.
Over.
Yeah. So I think they're making a mistake there. Roman Reigns is going to be a huge babyface that the crowds universally love. But before that, he has to have a strong heel run. I know I sound like a broken record. We've been saying the same thing for 2 years now or something. But turn him heel. Let him run wild for a while, and then you turn him after a strong heel run. Right now, this is not working still. If they just have Roman Reigns as a babyface, win clean over The Undertaker, and then next night on Raw, he's still a babyface, they fucked up. They are missing opportunity here.
At that point, you have to assume that they just are so arrogant about the situation that they refuse to bend to the will of the WWE Universe. And it's more so like, no, you know what? You're wrong. Fuck you. We will not do that because you want it to happen. As opposed to them thinking that it's an actual good idea, because it can't be. You can't have The Undertaker put over Roman Reigns like that.
I've come to the conclusion that there's someone up there with a lot of money and arrogance and saying, no, Roman Reigns will be a babyface, and he will never be a heel.
Vince or Triple H.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is my next Hulk Hogan brother.
And he will be. Like he could be someday. But first, you have to kind of do what they did with The Rock.
Uh-huh. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a heel when he got popular.
Yeah.
You have to listen to the crowd. You have to listen to the universe and not money.
You don't always have to follow what the crowd wants all the time, but you have to be able to respond accordingly. And it sounds like...
when Del Rio turned heel and nobody gave a shit? Remember when Sheamus turned heel and nobody gave a shit? Same thing's going to happen to Roman Reigns when he turns heel. I'm not going to give a shit.
Yeah, because they destroyed Roman Reigns by not turning him heel. And some people will care, but a lot of people just stopped caring and just hate him.
Well, no, I think he'll be a lot more over as a heel.
I think if he turns into a heel, he's in that type of a situation where you're going to get some people that are just jackasses and they're going to start cheering him because they just want to be different. And those people make up not even the vocal minority. They're the pure minority. They're the 10 jackasses in the row that are sitting there going, we should chant for Bob Backlund in the middle of nowhere. But if you can turn that extra, you know, whether it's 70 or 80% of the people are already booing him right now, and a good portion of them are booing him because they don't want to see Roman Reigns, and I'm a fan enough that I want to see him. I just want to see him as a heel. I'd be booing him if they booked him in a situation where he was a heel, and you get those people to boo him too. Then he's an effective heel, because you know that the people that don't like him at all are going to still boo him, and if he's up against the babyface that they like, they're going to still cheer the babyface. And it's like, it's just, you know, if you have somebody who's got a problem, you turn it into a positive whenever you can. Roman Reigns winning this match has to turn into a heel turn, whether he wins it clean or he cheats or whatever like that. No matter what, he has to be heel at the end of it. If they think that he can get out of this as a babyface winning the match, it's not happening. And all it's going to do is hurt Undertaker and not help Roman Reigns.
It'll destroy Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns has to win, and he has to be really arrogant about it, too. He has to be super arrogant about it.
But since...
it would help Roman to get over with the crowd. I'm not going to sound like a D-bag for this, but if he got injured for a very, very long time,
that would help for him to just disappear for a year.
Like if he disappears for like a year to 6 months and just comes back at the Royal Rumble or something.
Maybe comes back with like a different look a little bit too.
Yeah.
And not the body armor.
Shaved head or something like that, you know? So my issue with the whole thing is that I don't think that they're turning him heel. And I'm just worried that they're going to have Roman Reigns win the match and then do that kind of a send-off thing, because they're stupid enough that they could do that and think that it'll work and just be like, well, if The Undertaker gives him, you know, a tip of the hat, then people will have to respect it because The Undertaker, you know?
Yeah, that worked with The Rock at the Royal Rumble, too.
Exactly. They should have learned their lesson from that if they are thinking that. But what I'm hoping is the case, because you asked me a couple months ago, what would I have done? Back when I had my predictions for WrestleMania and my fantasy booking and stuff, like around like SummerSlam time, I was saying I wanted heel Roman Reigns against Undertaker. I thought that was a good money match over the John Cena one that a lot of people were pitching. But he had to be heel Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
If they are adamant that they need to keep him a babyface and they're just stubborn enough that they don't want to do it, Undertaker has to win the match. And especially if this is his last match, God forbid he loses it too. If this is Undertaker's last match, or it's not his last match, he still should win the match. And then maybe you can try to do that thing where he comes out and he says, you know what, you gave me hell. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, you can call this your yard too. It's not going to go over well, but it'll go over a hell of a lot better than if Roman Reigns wins.
Yes, I agree.
Then you kind of have your cake and you eat it too. And you still fail because nobody's going to cheer Roman Reigns, but at least you don't fuck up The Undertaker. You know?
I do like the direction that they were taking the promo that Roman Reigns cut on Monday. That's leading into that territory.
I couldn't hear it all that well.
The arrogant.
You can hear me?
No, I couldn't hear the promo all that well.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay.
So what did he say?
Basically, you know, saying, hey, you know, this is my yard and, you know, I'm the badass, and kind of a heelish promo. You know, saying, you know, you're the legend, but I'm the new guy and I'm going to take you out. And, you know, the kind of standard stuff you'd expect to hear, but it sounded good coming from him. That's the kind of promo that he needs to be cutting. Very arrogant, you know, that's what he needs to do.
I'm sorry, but when you cut a promo saying, I'm not the bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm the guy, you lose all respect from this guy. All right. That was the worst promo I've ever used in my life. And that's when I was like, you know what? I really don't give a shit about this dude anymore. Just go get lupus.
Oh, I did, yeah.
I still reckon him getting lupus would be the best thing for him.
Getting lupus.
Yeah.
Undertaker wins via lupus.
Yeah.
Imagine like referee John Cohen or somebody's out there and they're just kind of like, you know, counting with the Undertaker on the ropes. They're just kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and he jumps off, and then they're like, okay, yeah, you broke it up. Checks Roman Reigns, you good? Checks Undertaker, you good? Goes again a little bit later on, counting a pinfall. 1, 2, no, he kicked out. Start getting a little bit later in the match, and the referee's checking up Roman Reigns here and there. He's just kind of like, you sure you're all right? You sure? Okay. Then at some point, you know, just stops the match, calls it, gets on the gloves. Everybody's like, wait, Roman Reigns isn't bleeding. And then it's just like, The referee has just informed me that Roman Reigns has lupus. It's just like, so the winner of the match as a result of horrible disease, the Undertaker. He's like, oh, I didn't mean that you were actually going to die. Fuck. So if we have to pick, who do we think's winning? Sean, who do you got? Roman Reigns or Undertaker?
Roman Reigns is going to win, and then WWE are going to lose a view.
Angie?
As long as Roman Reigns turns heel, I will be okay. But Roman Reigns is going to win. No, it hurts. It hurts so much. But I really think they're going to fuck over millions of people and have babyface Roman Reigns win. And they're going to fuck everything up just like they have for the past few years. I'm sorry.
Andrew, you should join me and turn off your television when it does happen.
I just might. Or at least I'll walk out of the room again.
If it does happen, I'm going to try to get Chuck's reaction. We didn't get him for the Brock Lesnar one. So, Kalen, Undertaker or Reigns?
Roman Reigns for the win.
I'm going to be upset if I'm wrong, but I'm going to hold out the tiniest modicum of hope that the Undertaker is going to win.
Please hold on to that, Tony. I hope he does. Yeah.
If I don't, I'm going to be a bitter fuck. And if he loses and Roman Reigns wins, you're going to hear a very sour note with the post-show. It's going to be like, well, some good things were good tonight, but this fucking pay-per-view, goddammit, because, oh my God, you don't fuck with the Undertaker's thing. He never should have lost the streak as far as I'm concerned. He never should have lost that match against Lesnar. And if you look at the way that he's been acting lately, his hip is clearly bugging the hell out of him. And I'm just nervous that the last time we saw him in that much pain was the one that he lost with that concussion with the Brock Lesnar match. This could be like Roman Reigns is winning the match just because of like Undertaker can't really pick him up to do a tombstone and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
Really, really nervous about that. More than anything.
I am too.
It's just
so
anxious the entire night.
Undertaker is injured, right? What would you say to a Roman Reigns squash?
Oh, I'm going to be beyond pissed if that happens.
Just a Superman punch and a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins.
I'd be okay if it's a Roman Reigns heel turn. I'd be fine with a squash match in this situation. I just don't want a squash match. I don't want Roman Reigns to win as a babyface. That's the only thing. Basically any other outcome I'd be okay with. I just don't want Reigns to win as a babyface.
Even if it's Undertaker's last match ever?
Yep.
In no way, if it's his last match ever, can I justify a squash.
You're supposed to go out on your back. You're supposed to put over the younger talent.
The under talent?
The under talent.
Undertaker versus under talent?
Yeah.
He is less talented.
Younger talent.
Oddly enough, there are still 2 matches left to talk about.
Fucking hell.
Fucking crazy, isn't it? It takes forever to get through this card.
Are we doing all the pay-per-views for the rest of the year here, or what are we doing?
Seems like it. Goddamn. Now, I have to eat a little bit of crow here. Hopefully it's cooked. I was very against this match, and Ben was sitting there going, no, man, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. They've been winning me over a little bit, and that's the Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton WWE Championship match. I still think it should not be those two for the title. I still think it should be AJ Styles going in as the champion or fighting the champion, whether it's him against John Cena, and that's the 16th title win, or it's, I don't know. It could have been a couple of different options. I still think that Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton versus Luke Harper was the better way to go as an undercard match. Maybe the under talent is the special guest referee. I don't know. But I do like this feud a lot more than I thought I would. And I'm actually kind of excited for it. It could be good. You guys on a positive swing? You guys more on the negative side? What do you think about Wyatt and Orton?
Oh, I'm looking forward to the match, but for the belt, it should. I agree with you. It shouldn't have been these two. but I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I'd rather have seen AJ Styles as the champion or the challenger for the title. But Wyatt versus Orton, I mean, they kind of been teasing that, for a while before, and then Orton joined the Wyatts and stuff. Then the Wyatt family sort of fell apart, and Bray Wyatt's by himself now. I don't know. I did love the segment that they did with Randy Orton burning down the compound. That was great. I did not see the segment yet that they did last night where he was back there, but I heard that was good.
I thought it was a little awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a good match. I don't think it'll be
a great match, but it is the match.
Exactly. But I think it'll be entertaining. I just don't know where the hell they're going with this storyline. I really don't know.
To hell, I guess.
Perhaps.
They got crucifixes. They got dead bodies burnt to a crisp. Bray Wyatt's smearing a bunch of ashes all over himself, which is like, you'd think if they go through all this trouble with a non-sanctioned match that they would have some other things in place for some of these things, It's sort of like, is there anything in my contract that it's okay that this dude can smear ashes all over himself before the match? Because that's a little creepy. Or burn my fucking house down or anything. But Sean, what are you thinking about Wyatt and Orton? Is this good enough feud for the title?
Oh, I was on the same fence as you when back when Bray won the belt at Elimination Chamber and when Randy won the Royal Rumble. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want to see this. And then the whole Randy burning down the house or shed, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
That's what I was like, burning down the house.
that got me intrigued in a little bit, and him smearing himself in ooze was pretty cool. Yeah.
He's just smearing himself with shit, and Randy Orton's like, dude, that has nothing to do with this. Sister Abigail gave me all her power, and she forgot to flush.
I'm looking forward to this match more than I am to the Universal.
That's another thing. That's a good segue to go with.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Well, did we do our predictions for Wyatt versus Orton? I say Wyatt retains.
I say Wyatt retains.
Angie?
I think Orton's taking it.
I'm with you, Angie. I think Orton's winning the belt here. Yep. I think we're getting both new world champions, which kind of takes us a little bit into the Universal one here. I am very much more excited with Orton Wyatt than Goldberg Lesnar.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So are we.
I think we're all on the same page when it comes to that. It's going to be a quick match. Lesnar's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Universal title just doesn't exist until the end of August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's sad.
We might see it defended at one of the pay-per-views before then, but probably not.
And man, if the whole idea is true, that they want to build this up where Brock Lesnar keeps the title until WrestleMania next year and loses it to Roman Reigns.
Oh, no.
Then I might need to be in another one of those stop watching wrestling for a while type of situations.
Holy shit.
And I'm not up for either side of it. That's the thing. It's not just the idea of Roman Reigns winning the title. It's not just the idea of a rematch that I don't want to see. It's not just the idea of Brock Lesnar being champion for an entire year for no reason. I don't want any of that. I don't want Brock Lesnar as champion ever again unless he's going to show up again multiple times. Not just the big 4 pay-per-views. He's not that fucking good for it.
No, and it hurts my head wondering why they think he is or they treat him like it.
Because they believe that he's worth the money. They think he's a big money draw.
But he's not.
And whether or not that's true, I don't know. But that's, they have to put the title where the money is or where they think it is.
They don't think very correctly most of the time.
Now, Goldberg recently in an interview, he said that he's been miserable during this whole time because of all the training he has to do and stuff.
Oh no, he had to do he's done 6 or 7 moves now since his return. 6 or 7 moves, a total of 2 minutes in the ring.
He probably had a longer match with that locker that he headbutted backstage.
Yeah,
than he's had with the Royal Rumble and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to this at all. Really.
Yeah.
It's sad to say that about the main event with the Universal title on the line and 2 legends and all this other kind of stuff, I really honestly don't care. And I guarantee you at this point of the night, I'm going to be more concerned with writing up the end of my Bleacher Report article and kind of seeing if anybody else wants some more pizza than actually watching this. I really just don't care. And
so what do you think? Over under 3 minutes?
Under.
Are we counting bullshit or are we going bell to bell?
Bell to bell.
Bell to bell.
Slightly over.
I reckon under. I reckon Brock Lesnar's going to pick him up for an F5 as soon as he charges in for a spear.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be quick and decisive, and I think Lesnar is just going to dominate because Goldberg had the upper hand in every other encounter they've had. So I think Lesnar is going to go over, and it's going to be quick.
I think
and Lesnar's going to look like a dominant champion. You think? How so?
Goldberg hits a spear, picks him up for the jackhammer, and he gets a 2 count. And people start going, "Well, Brock Lesnar! Oh my God, he's done! He's done! He's gonna get squashed again!" And the kick out, everybody's like, "Wait a minute, no! It's WrestleMania! You know, he refuses to die at WrestleMania, that kind of a thing."
Right.
Goldberg goes for like another spear. He gets caught. Lesnar picks him up for an F5, picks him up for a second F5, and at that point, 3.5 minutes go by or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
So about 3 minutes.
Just a little bit over it with a lot of like, you know, Goldberg hits the spear, the jackhammer, they do the 2 count, and then Goldberg's like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And I stand here for 45 seconds, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's certainly not going to be like, you know, the bell rings, they start locking up and they're doing hip tosses and stuff for 6 minutes. Like, it's not happening. And I hate their justification that, well, UFC has quick things. Yeah, well, UFC sucks. I don't fucking watch it. So,
how many German suplexes do you think Goldberg will take?
None.
Yeah,
not a single one of them.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's just going to be an F5. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's a
one
shame.
F5. One F5. Calling it now.
I'm going 2 F5s.
I think 2.
Oh, you reckon they're going to go for an F10?
2 times it. So we all going with Goldberg losing the title here.
Yes.
And, do you guys think that he's done for good after this, or is he going to wrestle anymore?
Done for good.
I think he's done, but he'll still make a.
He's going to come out on the next night and make a speech, and that'll be it.
Hall of Fame next year?
Yep.
That's a good idea.
So, last thing to talk about is to just do a slight recap. What do you think is going to be the best and the worst match of the night? Sean, what are your picks?
Holy fucking shit, I can't remember all the fucking matches. Jesus fuck. Best match of the night. Fuck it, I'll just go with the ones that I'm most looking forward to watching. One I'm most looking forward to watch, Miz and Maryse tag match. I think that's probably my favorite match on the fucking card. Least favorite match on the card is The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns because I know Roman's going to win.
Angie?
I think the best match is going to be Neville versus Aries. The one I'm looking forward to and the most afraid for and stressed about is The Undertaker Reigns. And the one I really, really, really don't want to watch is the Cena and Nikki, Miz, and Maryse. And then I think one of the worst ones is going to be the Shane and AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one either all that much. Kaylin, your picks?
I think the highlights are going to be Jericho and Owens. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think Neville versus Aries is going to be a good match. Storyline wise, I am really intrigued to see where they go with Taker and Reigns. I don't think it's going to be a great match per se, but for storyline wise, I'm invested in that one. As far as the ones that I don't give a shit about, yeah, Cena and Nikki versus Miz and Maryse, bleh, and Shane versus AJ. Disappointed that they're not doing more with AJ, but yeah.
I basically split this card into thirds. There's like a third of it I really, really want to see. The stuff like the Battle Royal and the Cruiserweight match, the Jericho match, even the non-sanctioned match I'm really interested in. Then you got like the middle ground that I'm like, give or take, sort of, which is like the Raw Tag Team title match and even like the Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton one's kind of a little bit more in the boat there, sort of. But then you got that bottom third, and that's Goldberg, Lesnar. I just don't care about at all. I'm so nervous about Reigns and Undertaker. I have no interest at all in the Fatal 4-Way elimination match for the Women's Championship on Raw. If I gotta pick, the match of the night I think is going to end up being Jericho Owens, and the Cruiserweight title is like real neck and neck with that, but I think they might screw that on time. And my least favorite match of the night, if Undertaker loses, it's going to be that by default. But just pure match itself, probably Goldberg Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can't put something in the main event and have it be something other than a main event, as far as I'm concerned. But man, this fucking took forever. And we are
thanks to all
done.
of you out there who listened to the whole thing. You're the real hero.
To the whole thing. If you're waiting this long and you didn't do timestamps for your comments, then I'm sorry. But forgot to mention that at the beginning of it. But the last thing for us to take care of is some plugs. So Drew's not here, so he doesn't get any. Fuck him. And Sean, what do you want to tell us out there?
Sean?
Oh,
he tossed himself out.
Okay.
He was done.
Follow my Twitter at
I did a wiggle, my bad. Follow me on the Twitter at 2K37. I'm gonna be taking a short break after this one, I think 2 weeks to recharge my batteries. I don't know how this guy does it with all the editing and everything, so hats off to him, Mr. Mango. You're more than welcome to. Christ, I need a holiday.
I might start drinking at the end of this week. I might just be like, fuck it.
I haven't had a decent drink since that fucking Royal Rumble we did.
Really?
Yeah, that's
I don't buy this.
That was the last time I had a drink.
Huh.
Well, you said a decent drink.
Yeah, decent. I was, you drink every day, but that was the last decent one you had.
All the other ones have been shit.
It's true. I normally have a can when I'm watching the footy.
A can with the footy. When you're doing the stag do's. Angie, anything you want to promote or throw out there for everybody?
I will do an introduction to Kaylin. Da da da.
Oh, well, such an introduction. Yeah, you can. For all of your trivia needs, make sure you check out sporcle.com, sporcle.com. All kinds of trivia quizzes, lots of WWE related stuff. In fact, if you go on the YouTube channel, you can see Tony doing some of those. Did some recently, and so make sure you check that out. I failed, especially like the Hall of Fame one that you did. That was good. I watched that. I was cringing because I kept shouting a few of the names at the screen until you got it, and yeah. Those are fun to watch. Let's see. So check out sporkle.com. Oh, make sure you check out Northwest Ohio Wrestling on Facebook. We got events going on all the time. Our next one's coming up May 6th in Toledo, Ohio. I will be there, so make sure you check that out. Northwest Ohio Wrestling on Facebook.
The old NWOW.
Now.
Now. NAW.
Now.
From my side of things, everybody obviously keep following Smark Out Moment on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button to tell us that you did end up surviving this entire thing. And follow Fanboys Anonymous at Fanboys Anonymous, or at Fanboys Anon actually on Twitter, because I can't fit the whole damn thing. And that's actually going to be the next time that you hear my voice is going to be the Ghost in the Shell review. I have no idea what to think about that movie yet, but we'll see what happens. But as far as the Smark Out Moment content that you'll be seeing next, the NXT TakeOver Orlando pay-per-view predictions, and then, not the predictions, we already did that, the pay-per-view post-show, and then, of course, the WrestleMania pay-per-view post-show, and then I'll get a revolver and put 5 bullets in it and play Russian roulette. But that'll do us in for this episode. Thank you all for listening. This has been another Smark Out Moment, and we are all being counted out.